dare you?
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Welcome back, everyone. It's the weekend. We're going to have some fun. And yes, look at the usual suspects up at the top there. You want to be in the Rogues Gallery for KBS. You got to get yourself on over to the Discord server. Get your emoji to me, and you too can be part of that crazy crew. Brilliant. Make your way in quietly. Jazz hands rules apply. It's a little safe space here this Friday. Yes, and we're going to be talking about something strange that is happening all around the world. High strangeness in 2020. Well, I have got you covered right here on today's KBS weekend stream. Yes, indeedy. And unfortunately, Scotty Lopez hasn't joined me yet, so you're going to have to put up with me for as long as you can tolerate it. So I thank you for being here. The longer you last, the more I appreciate it. I've got some really good stuff to go over with you today. I've been noticing quite a lot of information, articles, just in the periphery of my vision. And what I mean is, when I've been going looking for stuff for streams, for shows, I've kind of had a topic in mind, or we've had a guest coming on. But just as I've been looking for related information, you know, when you're scrolling to get to those nuggets, you also see unrelated stuff. And there's been a lot of things that have kind of been boiling away and building up in the back of my mind. So what better time to have such a clickbaity titled stream than something strange is happening all around the world. So we're going to get into that, but we're going to take our time today. It's the weekend. There's no rush. We've started a little bit earlier so that I finish a little bit more sociable time. And yeah, you see, after I get off the show, the stream, I'm obligated to play Scrabble with my old dear. And this week's been horrendous. I haven't won one match. Mercury retrograde, ladies and gents, is kicking my ass. But I hope all of you out there are rolling with the punches. And I want to give a special shout out to a new name. We've got a new person in the chat room today. Name is Anthony Bottari. And he says, Kev, I'm your biggest fan. Are you like 9 foot tall? Is that what you're trying to say, Anthony? And by the way, get this, folks. I live on Laurel Terrace in Boston. So I'm always listening. I'm just broke and don't chat much. I'm just broke and can't stop talking. Tony, you're in the right place, brother. I'm going to take a little dip my toe into the chat room, shall we? We'll get a little bit of tunes on in the background. Just going to give you a little shout out. A couple of things to take care of. Housekeeping wise, admin wise. I have got a nice little 2 bottles of cider sitting here. So it's nice and chilled out tonight, nice and relaxed. Hopefully Scotty will message as we move forward, as we progress in the show. I hate the word progress now. It's far too close to progressive. And that's the last thing that Kev Baker is. Let's face it, right? But in the chat room, okay, no particular order. Well, there kind of is, because I'm going to pop out the participants. So you really need to be talking, typing something in the chat. You want to be on live chat as well, okay? And I'm going to pop out. We've got one Polly in there. First Paranormal, AJ, Anthony, Bella, Cackles, Carol, Connie, Danny, Duncan, Edward, Feminine, Jan, John, Leslie, 2 Leslies. We've got Leslie H and our good friend Leslie Dickey from over in the Discord. We've got Lewis Ta. We've got a video from Lewis to look at today. Strange things happening around the world. And if you are in Discord, go to the current live stream room and drop in any UFO, weird, paranormal, strange type information. And we'll get to it. Because we need to talk about this. There's a heck of a lot going on. So we've got Paul in there, Mark. Oh, loads of people flying in there now. Tessa, Queen Goddess, great to see you, Queen. Big shout out to my mum. Julie just jumped in there. Donnie, I see Donnie. Good, Donnie, my uncle. How you doing, man? And we'll definitely get some Didge music before we leave today as well. So that's the chat room done. Now I just want to take care of a little bit of housekeeping. If you will please afford me the time to go over a couple of things. Couple of cool things happening here at KBS. Yes, indeed. But if we come over here first and look at them. Look how cute do they look? All just rolling along the bottom there. And I've got it all saved. Yes, Anne, you're looking great. Now, if you have Anne on a big screen, you'll notice there's like brackets. It's not kill brackets. She's not gone 17th letter. But in the brackets, anyone remember the shoe emoji? Anne's got her shoe. So yes, Annie has got her shoe. That is the new name of that song. It's no longer Annie has got her bang bang. Annie has now got a shoe. And that's to remind me. That's a constant reminder to behave myself. Even when she's not here and I can feel her eyes boring into the back of my head, right? But not so long ago on the show, we had a stream about some ancient woo. We like getting into our ancient woo here, right? And we had this one here about the star holes. Anyone remember the star holes? So I'm just going to play a little bit. Take a watch of this. You have to wonder what technology they were using. Again, I definitely think today's been pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. You look at that. Got another one? Here we go.
Alright, homie. There you go. Now, I have a theory on your rifling.
Remember when Spooky Andy made me that crazy stone that we were looking at there? And we were comparing it to the ancient star holes? those things from ancient times? Well, get a load of this. Because here is the star hole. Now, you can probably put me on Twitter doing that. They'll say I'm Illuminati. But, yeah, this arrived today. And, yeah, Andy, your rapping skills are epic, brother. Anne cut herself about 5 times trying to get into your package. You'll need to teach me how to do that one. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. That would be an X-file. Me getting the better of Anne, that would be a really, really crazy day. So yeah, we've got the stone here now. We've got the Wookiee. We've got some notes as well, if I missed anything. Yeah, this Freaky Friday, talking to Spooky Andy, we're going to have a round table again. I'm hoping to get Jason, First Paranormal, involved. And I'm going to work on a couple of additional surprise guests as well to join me, Scott, Spooky Andy, hopefully Jason. And if I can get 2 more people, that means we can take a segment each and present 6 chapters of Woo for all of you. Looking forward to that. That's going to be good. And my good friend Bill Bean is going to be back here on the show tomorrow. And for those of you who missed it, he was on the biggest radio show in the world the other day. Yes, Coast to Coast. He's a regular guest on there. He's a regular guest on KBS. I'm his co-host on Warrior Mode that you can hear tomorrow night. And it was his first time speaking to the Coast to Coast roving reporter Cheryl Jones. And I am very, very proud to say that in the next couple of weeks, you guessed it, Cheryl is going to be coming onto Warrior Mode, all the way from Coast to Coast, to this YouTube channel here. I know, it's surreal, but it's 2020. This is what happens in 2020. You get Warrior Mode, plus Kev Baker, plus Coast to Coast type hosts. I hope you're all looking forward to that. So are we about ready to take a look at something strange happening all around the world? And it's not one thing, it's many things. And I'm telling you, by the time we get away today, and we're going to live dive some of it as well. We've got Twitter open here. I have got the current live stream material room in Discord right in front of me. But before we do that, you go get yourself a little refreshment. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build the anticipation a little. Keep you all waiting just a little moment, because I want you to go out there and press subscribe if you haven't done so already. Press like, share the video, and I'll be back in about 60 seconds, and we're going to get right into it. We've got nothing as it seems. We have got Marie, Kevin, Nacy, how you doing, brother? We have also got Edward. Did I get you before, Edward? I'm not sure. Renzo. And the Starhole video is on KBS 2, right here for all of you. Oh, colorist, I love you too. You know I love you. I love all of you, right? Even the haters. Hey, sneaking in there, Marty. And Marty's a huge part of this channel. And great to see you here, sister. There we go. Yeah, just in case you missed it. How cool is that? Andy, you are so cool, brother. You know that anyway, man. But when I arrived today, absolutely made up, so I was. Awesome, dude. Awesome. And that's an example of how we would create a hole similar to what we were looking at from ancient times. Yeah, go figure. That's the kind of cool stuff we do here on KBS, right? Excuse me. Cider. Awfully gaseous. Yes, indeed. So, are we ready to dip our toe into some of this woo? And Renzo, I posted the link to the star hole video in the chat room. That's really, if I keep saying star hole, the algorithm's probably going to think I'm being very, very naughty. Yes, indeed. So let's get ready, folks. Let's get ready to get into the strange stuff happening around the world. And let me just check now. Have we got Mr. Lopez yet? No, we don't. Let me see what's going on here. My mother has checked in. We're all good to go. Kenny, if you're watching, big shout out to you. Kenny, my brother, was blown away by Uncle Donnie, Auntie Luna, and Sister Jess when we done the Australian show. Never fear, there's another Australian show around the corner. Next month we'll be getting back together again. I've just decided right now off the top of my head. And I'll get that sorted out and we'll get back down under for more of that ancient woo. But tonight we're going to take a look at now what's been happening in recent times. Because I think there's a lot for us to talk about. There's definitely enough for us to take a look at and go, Now remember, I am not building up to some revelation. I'm not going to tell you what all of this means, what all is happening. What do we do here? I provide, you decide. And that way it takes a whole heap of pressure right off of yours truly, right? So it all started when we've been doing the shows with the guests last week. So that took a real kind of burden off of me from having to research and look for topics off the top of my head, try and string things together. But I knew what Charlie and what Nano and what Kevin and what Scotty, roughly what they were going to get into. So I looked for related topics. I kept seeing things coming up on like recommended or other links on websites. And UFOs is what we're going to be talking about to begin with today. Because this isn't the only strange kind of stuff we're hearing about happening right now. But we've not really dived into the UFOs since we talked to Billy about Skinwalker Ranch. We had Jason on and Ben Emlyn Jones, and we were talking about Constable Roger Willie and the Dorset Cross. You naughty buggers out there, stop it. I'm not laughing. But that was the last time we dived into the UFOs, right? Well, the other day I caught a load of this happening here. Mysterious lights spotted flashing in the Houston sky. several Texas residents reported video of the mysterious flashing lights above Houston overnight. We'll blow it up a little bit so we can see it there.
Guys, can someone tell me what's going on over there? There's been a whole bunch of them. And that's not usually there. It's in the sky, but this is not. That's the sky over there. Look at this. What is this? I've never seen anything like it. It is so weird. And I wish I could see it in person because it looks
Pretty weird, huh?
than on video. They're red. But they're like going in weird shapes.
Now,
There's a whole bunch
when
more.
this turned up, I might be wrong, but I'm sure there was people over in the KBS Discord posting about that. And that one there is over Texas. And if my memory serves me correctly, I want to say Florida, but this was happening over another part of America as well. I couldn't find it when I was taking a look for links today, but you'll see I've got plenty more to add to the mix. And just briefly here, I'm not going to read out all the articles, you know. It says several Texas residents captured video of the mysterious flashing lights above Houston overnight. And the video shows the lights hovering in a strange formation and flashing repeatedly. There's currently no word on what they are. So let's take one more look at it, okay? And I'll keep the volume down a bit and we'll discuss it. Now, let's think about it logically. Could it be something to do with military flares, something like that? It appears that they are traveling up the way, and usually, you know, the military flares will hover about, but they'll eventually come down. It's hard to get any perspective of the size. Could it be helicopters? It looks legitimate, I must admit. The video looks real enough. A lot of zooming in, zooming out. That one, they're moving towards each other. Marie in the chat room says there was another one like this over in Massachusetts. No, that's okay, Marie. We, listen, we're all just sharing info here. We'll hit it eventually. 4 helicopters, says ZX. AJ McCammon says, look up Marfa lights in Texas. About an 11-hour drive west of me. Okay, we'll have a quick look for that. Texas. UFO. What is this? I need to find a channel that's probably not going to hit me, folks. So, mystery revealed.
If you're from West Texas, you've heard all the tales of the Marfa ghost lights. Might have even seen them, but no one has been able to accurately document and explain the mystery. Until now.
What? No, come on, no, that can't be what you're talking about, AJ. Every night he's saying. Right, here's something here.
I don't know what these are. I probably shouldn't be out here.
What in the world is that?
Folks, I'm gonna suggest you subscribe to this channel, Wayne Picks. Wayne, I'm just taking a look at this, brother. Zoom out, pal, zoom out. I want to see what's around. Zoom out. Yeah, see if you're going to take a... I'm not having a go at this channel, but if you're going to take a UFO video, I know it's probably going to be really hard to think of this, but your adrenaline's going to be pumping, right? I get it. But try and zoom right out, show around about you, like, so we can get an idea of scale, size. Zoom in on it. Zoom out again, zoom in. You know, just come around, come off it. Don't be zoomed right in on it. It's not to prove you're not faking it, but it helps a lot in trying to analyze what we might be looking at. And I sound like one of these Facebook forensic detectives now. You know, see how we've all become like forensic experts in the day and the age of the internet. It's great, isn't it? We all know how to scrutinize everything with our little magnifying glasses. I need Scott Lopez here to do all my scrutinizing, let me tell you. But yeah, that's pretty cool, AJ. Pretty cool indeed. Renzo says, I saw a Facebook friend make a status about booms a few days ago. Renzo, if you can find that, drop that into Discord. That would be amazing, Renzo. Honestly. Marty and ZX having a good laugh about Martha and Marty. So that's pretty cool. Now, we had these ones here that I talked about. That was from ABC 7 News. Now we're going to go, and I think this is Japan. There's been numerous reports about this one. Now, I think this one we can probably say has a more terra firma explanation behind it. Let's take a look at what I'm talking about. Go to Japan now. It's not ours. Government denies knowledge of a strange UFO over a Japanese city. It looks like a weather balloon, but the Japan Meteorological Agency denies it's theirs. Now, you see that there? It's got a little cross below it as well. I am absolutely 99.9% sure this is some weather type balloon. Some balloon to lift instrumentation up into a specific altitude to record X amount of measurements, whatever its purpose is, okay? But it says here, it's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's not an alien. It's never an alien from planet Krypton or otherwise. And still the origin of a strange balloon-like UFO that appeared in the sky over the city of Sendai, Japan, yesterday, June 17th, so 10 days ago this was, around 7 AM local time, remains a mystery. A full day after its sudden arrival. Here you go here, look. I mean, this looks similar to anyone who watched Skinwalker Ranch. That looks like the type of thing similar to what they were trying to launch, remember? And it went woo, and then it went to about 1,000 feet, and it kind of sparked out, it goosed out. Can't beat a cider on a hot day. So that there, I'm going to say it's from some university, something like that. Very much down-to-earth type explanation for that one, I think. But it's not the only strange stuff we've got going on in the world. Oh, hell no. We've got lots more. Photos, allegedly, of a UFO hovering over the forest. Quote, best flying saucer sleuth has seen in 40 years. Now, Spooky Andy, if you're out there, I think you're going to be the one that's going to confirm or deny that I could be correct here. But it says Philip Mantle says that the sighting of the UFO in Poland has left him baffled. The next RAF photo expert says that they are genuine. Now, here's the photograph in question here. Now, you've got the tree there, as you can see, right? And then you see in front of it, there's like this little thing here. Now, if we scroll down a bit, there's a better picture of it. There you go. Look at that. Now, I am going to be a bit of a debunker here. I'm going to be the guy that is highly skeptical of this one. And the reason I brought up Andy, and I dragged Andy into this, you know, poor innocent bystander just sitting listening to the stream, is because he's an expert with drones. And he himself, I heard him on Clyde Lewis, he spoke to me as well. And drone enthusiasts are quite able to go out and really cause a UFO stir, folks. And the fact we don't have moving footage of this, in this day and age, who really doesn't have camera that's going to take a moving kind of video, but we'll see what it says here. I'm a bit skeptical, okay? I know I shouldn't be. It's not really what you want to hear, but there's a flying saucer sleuth. How do you get that title? Who bestows the title of sleuth upon one's shoulders, may I ask? When do I become the Loch Ness Monster sleuth? I know that's really narcissistic, but anyway, has hailed photos showing a UFO hovering over a forest as the best he's seen in almost 40 years. I think you need to look at more photographs, dude. I'm just saying, if you're a sleuth, I'm not impressed yet. Philip Mantle has been left baffled and excited by the sighting in Poland. And Jason Gleave, a photo expert. What makes you a photograph expert in 2020? What was I saying a moment ago? Ain't we all forensic photography experts? Anytime anything happens, you know, we know exactly what we're looking at every single time. Has scrutinised the snaps and says they are genuine. The spinning top-shaped UFO was spotted by a man riding his bike in a remote area near the village of Jastrowo, or Rowo. I'm not Polish, what can I say? Roughly 180 miles from Warsaw. And it made a strange rustling sound as it rubbed against the top of the tree before it disappeared. Well, mate, a bird's going to make a sound if it bangs into a tree before it disappears. I ain't buying that. I ain't buying it, Philip. I'm sorry, dude. Now, if that is something that's arrived here from another planet, I think we can start to maybe stop worrying about an imminent invasion. Don't think these things, I don't care how many of them they throw at us, I'm pretty much sure we can take care of that. I'm just saying, okay? But listen, I'm laughing and I'm joking, but there's a serious side to this because there's lots more than just this going on. Now, this one here, an incredible flying object filmed in the skies near a beach. This comes from yesterday, and that would be, well, still today for you folks in the US. It's Saturday, and this is from Wales. A cigar-shaped shiny object seen hovering near the Bristol Channel ships. Now, if you look just in up to the 2 o'clock position, I don't know if you can see you can see my mouse there. Just there, okay? Now, could this be a helicopter? Could this be one of these optical illusions that they call Fortana Morgana? I think that's what they call it, where you can see something that's way off in the distance. It's an optical illusion, basically. Well, I'm going to have to check that, see if I'm totally wrong. Fortana Morgana? No, it's not that. Fata Morgana. There you go. There we are. Wasn't far off, right? A Fata Morgana is a complex form of a superior mirage that is seen in a narrow band right above the horizon, and it is an Italian term named after the Arthurian sorceress Morgan Le Fay, after a belief that these mirages, often seen in the Strait of Messina, were fairy castles in the air or false land created by her witchcraft to lure sailors to their untimely demise. Just saying, folks, just saying. So we'll take another look at that again. What do you think that is, folks? I don't know. It's, there we go, sorry. There it is there. You can see the horizon. There's obviously, that's a ship or an island that you can see way off in the background there. But what's that up there? It's just too far away to really tell, right? An interesting one, though. Definitely an interesting one. And then we come over to this here. And this is where it starts to get really into the more serious side of what's going on with the UFO subject in general. And it's something I've spoke about a lot since December 2017 when we had the To the Stars Academy and the ATIP program and the world's media all starting to take UFOs seriously, right? Well, I'm going to tell you that right now there's rumors going around that the New York Times are getting ready to publish some kind of expose, some kind of investigation that will leave the public in no doubt about cat crash retrieval type programs, projects, operations that have been run out of the Pentagon. Now, we have to be very, 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 very careful. Firstly, this is a rumor right now. I've not seen the story yet. And when it comes out, if it's coming out via Luis Elizondo To the Stars Academy, and basically the CIA's clearing shop for disclosure, then we can certainly say that the controlled disclosure is picking up pace. And we're going to start to see more and more. And another one here. We've got Senate hearings as well taking place. And Nick Pope, I think it is, has been having his say on that. Says an expert believes a briefing on Navy's UFO encounter disturbed senators. And this comes from the 25th of this month. And it says a former investigator for a government agency claimed that US senators might have been disturbed by the recent briefings regarding the UFOs previously encountered by members of the US Navy. Now, the expert made the statement after the Senate Intelligence Committee requested the Pentagon to release a new unclassified report regarding the strange incident. And I'm not going to read all of this, but we'll do this here. It says earlier in April, the Pentagon officially released the videos of the UFOs encountered by Navy pilots in 2004 and 2015. Now, that was David Shraver, I believe, was the name of the pilot in one of those incidents. And it took place around the USS Nimitz, if I remember rightly. According to the Pentagon, it released the videos after deciding that they do not contain sensitive data released to military systems and capabilities. Now, let's think about this. So, the Tic Tac video, for example, and come back over here and we'll get that up. Let's see. CNN, will it be alright? Maybe. We'll go forward, there we go.
Target. Commander David Fravor saw it firsthand during a training mission, describing it.
So that type of thing there, they're saying that they now think that there's absolutely no kind of security implications or anything like that to releasing this footage of something that defies our known laws of physics, okay? It's doing maneuvers that it just shouldn't be doing. It's got no obvious propulsion system. And now we're hearing about the fact that they say it's got no security value. Well, this for me is definitely part of this controlled disclosure that's going on. And this great reset that's going on right now, folks, there's going to be a lot of things that are changing. We're already seeing that around the world. And there's going to be a heck of a lot of technology coming our way. A heck of a lot of new technology. It's going to be some of the stuff. I mean, yesterday I was talking about the fact I went to a hospital appointment virtually. I mean, just to really kind of help you picture what I'm kind of talking about, but I don't think it's going to go that far. But the kind of medical stuff we see in sci-fi shows, you know. We'll have a lot of AI doing a lot of this stuff. We'll have scanners. This is what I think we're getting ready to do. But to do that, you need to kind of get people prepared and bring them up to speed with what kind of capabilities technology of ours and otherworldly or fake otherworldly could be. That's my opinion. But we'll go back to this article and just see what it says a bit more. On Tuesday, Florida Senator Marco Rubio, the acting chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, requested the Pentagon to release a detailed and unclassified report regarding the information gathered on UFOs, which are officially referred to as an unidentified aerial phenomenon. Quote, the committee remains concerned that there is no unified, comprehensive process with the federal government for collecting and analysing intelligence on unidentified aerial phenomenon, despite the potential threat, Rubio stated in his report. And the committee understands that the relevant intelligence may be sensitive. Well, it can't be, because you've got Tom DeLonge and all of those cats that some work for government still, some are career CIA, Capitol Hill type deep stairs, literally. You know, obviously there can't be too much of that sensitive, and if it is, well, why are they showing us it? What's going on there? I don't know about you, I just find it all very strange, and maybe I try to find connections and patterns that aren't there. That's okay, because it's what you take away from everything going on that truly matters, because it's your journey you're on, and what you think is what you think. And me, I can look at things from all angles, because Max Egan, he's one person that often points out never to be too invested in any one narrative, any one outcome, any one story. And I get it, because that way then you can kind of drop the confirmation bias away, and you don't get into these silly kind of what happens on the internet. My theory is better than your theory. I don't have any theory. I've got multiple theories. I want to hear your theories, you know. So we come down here. Let's see, is that Scotty? Is that the Scotty? Is it? No, it's not. No, it's not. Oh, maybe soon, folks. Maybe soon. But it says, nevertheless, the committee finds that the information sharing and coordinating across the intelligence community has been inconsistent. That's because it's compartmentalized, Rubio. And this issue has lacked attention from senior leaders, he continued. Now, Nick Pope, he's the guy that used to work for the MOD over here. I suppose in some ways you could say he was a bit like our Fox Mulder, but nowhere near as cool. Nowhere near as cool. And Nick, if you would like to come on the show sometime, I would definitely like to hang with you, hear what you've got to say. But it says in here that Nick is saying, he's a former investigator for Britain's MOD, that the Senate decision to urge the Department of Defence to release a new report regarding the unidentified aerial phenomenon indicates that they are concerned about the matter. And they're also making it very public about their concern, aren't they? So they're trying to build a public perception. They're trying to steer how the public view all of this, because many people will still watch mainstream news and believe everything they're told and everything the government says. So we've got to try and think bigger here. Go to that 60,000 foot altitude and think, what's really playing out here? Well, they're trying to make out there's a problem. And what's the problem? Well, I don't know what the problem is. Obviously here, they're a bit scared about the potential for what this outside threat, unidentified threat is. And also a problem is stage 1 in that 3-game plan that we always love to talk about. Problem, reaction, solution. So we can't forget that the Space Force is now the 6th arm of the US military. Not the secret one where you go away for 20 years and then come back 5 minutes later in this timeline and that kind of jazz. But no, an actual Space Force. And this will go a long way to helping put in that budget request, you know, ask for more money. Where that money goes, hey, nobody knows, right? Not even Dick Cheney. Remember all the money he lost down the back of the sofa? Just saying. So yeah, we've got this rumbling on. We've got Senate hearings. We've still got the ATIP cats, all that going on. And over here, we're going to go to UFOs. We're just going to take a little look down some of the latest ones. We'll go to the latest. Let's see what's in here. See if we've got any videos kicking about. Now, there's probably, we'll go to the top, there's probably going to be a whole pile of craziness in here as well. Let's be honest. But classified UFO briefings may have left senators disturbed. So that's basically the same thing we were talking about there. Now, this one here.
Good job, you adjusting the cameras.
Anyone remember what that is?
Copy that.
That is one of the STS missions. And that long thing there's a tether that was dropped off by one of the shuttles. Don't ask me what the jellyfish looking things are though. No idea what they are, folks. Isn't that weird? Isn't it? That's a famous one, that one. Famous. Let's see. Planet X Nibiru exists. Okay, let's see. I said there's strange things happening in the sky. We'll have a look. I know nothing. I have no idea. Okay, picture there. Now, I did get a video from Comet Man. Let me just pull that up. Here we go. This is from Lewis. Hey, let me subscribe here. So this is Lewis in our chat room. Here we go.
Some kind of object. Looks like a parachute. I wonder what it is.
And folks, subscribe to Lewis. He's one of our own. He's in the chat room now, I hope. Is that a parachute? Is it one of those balloons again? I better check. Can you see what I'm seeing? Yeah. Oh, you. I thought for 1 minute there I didn't have the studio on. Yes. Look, I can even do this now. Look. Can't see me.
Looks like a paraglider. UFO. That thing's just staying there. About 25,000 feet.
Lewis, this is awesome, brother. This is awesome, man. Lewis, I hope you don't mind me showing this, brother.
Whatever that is, I don't know. What is this thing?
Scotty Lopez is in the building. There we go. This is turning a good one tonight, folks, eh? It really is. Let me bring myself back up. I know you don't want to see me, but there we are. No, wrong one. That's for when Scott comes. There I am. Hey, I'm back. Lewis, that is, hang on. I've got Scotty there, folks. Sorry about that. My bad. I'm such an unprofessional streamer, ain't I? I'm going to add Scotty the minute he tells me, and then we'll get all set up. It's going to be good. I'll get Scott to join me, but there's something strange happening all around the world. And like I said to you at the start of the stream here, it's not just UFOs and stuff like that we're talking about. But another one of our own, Renzo. This is what somebody was talking about now. Oh, hang on. Thank you for blocking out the names, Renzo. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. That's how easy it is to, mistakenly maybe dox somebody. And that's the last thing I would ever do to anyone. Renzo, you are an absolute legend. Does anyone know why there have been random fireworks going off every night in Norfolk for the past month and a half? I've also heard that it's going on in other cities too. Okay. Right. I'm glad you brought this up, Renzo, because I'll bring it up with Scotty, but there is something we need to talk about along those lines. There is, I've seen a couple of people talking about, and I get it, there's July the 4th around the corner, Kev, don't be such a clown. But Dave says, but wait, and I've heard a couple of people, one Harry Vox, I don't know if you've been following him. You're either going to love Harry Vox or hate him. I think he's a crazy cool character. I can listen to him. Doesn't mean I agree with everything. But he and another channel, Helen of Destroy. I've never really watched Helen before. But I know Harry's been on with Max Egan lately. And Harry's been very vocal about the amount of fireworks that's going off in New York. And it wasn't that long ago. Remember we were talking about, or I was throwing out there, a hypothesis. It wasn't even that. It was just an idea because people had been reporting sounds of almost like the sounds of mortars going off, shelling, like Fallujah type kind of stuff happening, right? And it made me think of what Spooky Andy had told me about one time. It's called Operation Wandering Soul. And it's like a psychological operation where they use audio, stuff like that. So I'm going to add Scotty Lopez into the call now, folks. Give me just 1 second here. Here he comes. It's exciting now. We've got Scotty. You see, I told you wouldn't be left with me all night, folks. Mr. Lopez, how you doing, man?
Mr. Baker, how's it going?
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. Did you know that there's something strange happening all around the world, Scott?
When isn't there something strange happening all around the world?
I've been playing some UFO videos. Some good, some weird. We've got Mark Rubio. You know him, right? The Senate dude on the Intelligence Committee. He's demanding more information on what the Pentagon know about UFOs. There's rumors. There's a rumor, Scott. A rumor that there's a rumor that the New York Times are about to release a major article talking about crash retrieval type information.
Really?
Now, like I say, that's a rumor. It's something I've seen on Twitter. I also seen on Twitter that you see lots of things on Twitter. I can't single one thing out, to be honest with you. Point being, you can't believe everything you see. However, with this Mark Rubio thing going on, Scott, and the controlled disclosure, we've talked about it for a while, dude.
Wasn't there also some talk about Trump supposedly releasing some
Is he the disclosure president?
Not Area 51, but yeah, it's supposedly he's supposed to be releasing some Roswell information, if I remember correctly.
Nice.
And that he's been pestered by Don Jr. I guess Don Jr. is really interested in the subject, and I don't know. Yeah, is he going to be the disclosure president?
It'll probably be up to Jared, right?
Because I remember a certain episode of an alien show that we enjoy that was pushing that it was going to be Hillary that was going to be the disclosure president.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There you go. But listen, like I was saying there, folks, now we're going to go back to Twitter, see if we can find any more information about what I was talking about there.
I had to debunk UFO video just the other day that was getting spread around, and it was blatantly CGI. You could tell it was some pretty bad CGI, but you know, there's a lot of gullible people out there that if the if a certain social influencer posts the video, then I guess you can forget about it being fake. You know,
Well, that's what
like,
kind of stopped me. That used to be one of my things when I first went online. Like when YouTube used to be YouTube and that, you know, and it would be cool. You would find one. There wasn't such a plethora of CGIs. Oh, there was lots of them. There was there's one you still see today, right? I seen it when I first went online, and it's like palm trees. Looks like Hawaii or something, and there's just this big kind of mothership comes right over the top of them. I think I've seen it about a bajillion times, you know, but people still post it, and you still see people going, "Oh wow, they're coming." You're thinking, you really believe that?
Yeah, how like a video. It's interesting how you could see like a video that I would say in regular circumstances people would call it out for being BS CGI, but because it's like a page that they follow or a person that they've kind of invested their attention into, then like it's almost like they don't want to admit it's fake just because of the person who posted it, you know, so they kind of like go with it even though they know it's BS. And so I had to call it. I'm like, look, come on, this is really bad CGI.
Well, I'm going to show you some of the ones we've looked at, Scott, real quickly.
Yeah.
Because like I even said, I was saying, like before you came along, I says, Scott is the man that I get to scrutinize my UFO stuff, because sometimes it's easy. There's a lot of stuff out there, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there.
Here we go. A real quick kind of rundown of it. We've got this one here.
There's been a whole bunch of them. And that's not usually there. It's in the sky, but this is not.
So you get the idea of that one. This one here, very much, I'm going for a balloon. It says it's a UFO, Japan denies it, but you see the little cross there, Scott? Looks like it's almost carrying something from a bottom bit. I think that's very much ours. I mean, I don't know, like, I don't think an alien sent a balloon. That's definitely balloon, right?
Yeah, that looks like a weather balloon or something.
So we had that one again. Then we had this one. Now this one here is a still image. Now, maybe I'm too cynical here, but I know Spooky Andy, and he spoke to you about it as well. I'm sure you were there, about how it's easy to, like, you know, fly a drone and mock up a UFO and get people real talking. Now, I don't know, Scott, there's, you see it further away up here. This guy says it's the best photo he's... Whoa. Best photograph he's seen. You still there, yeah?
Yeah.
What was that noise, you know?
I don't know. Uh-oh. They're tapping in, Kev.
No, they're not. They're not. But there it is in front of the tree. See it?
Interesting.
And then, like I say, you come down and you get that there.
That thing would have to be really small then.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I said if that's what they're going to attack us with, I'm now not that. I used to be pessimistic about an alien invasion. I used to think if they've got the kahunas and the technology to get here, we might as well just stick our head between our knees, you know?
It's the Elvins and the Tommy Knockers and all of them. They've developed UFO technology.
Are they rolling out? Is it like the breakaway Tommy Knockers?
Why do you think they're flying out of the side of mountains, Kev?
Okay, now you've made me think about it in a different way. But yeah, we've had Nick Polk, like I say, is talking about the whole Senate intelligence briefing, so we've got that to keep our eye on. Let's see if there's anything decent here. Oh wow, what's this? See, it's hard to get any... No, that's going right over the sky, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
You know, again,
okay, so look, like this video and the first one are very, very similar to the UFO experience I had.
Really?
With these glowing, like kind of orangish lights, orbs flying over, and there were multiple. See, when I was trying to when I was describing what I seen, it was along the lines of that second video there that you saw, that there were that many in the sky that we were watching. I mean, it had to be at least a dozen of them, if not more.
That's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, that's why we thought that they were lanterns at first. But they were flying against the wind, so obviously something was propelling them. I don't know, man. It's very strange. Yeah, these are the videos that I say are. I lean towards being legit. Just
unexplainable.
The orb in the sky kind of. Yeah. So the first video in this one, so far, I'm on board with.
We're liking that. Cool. If we've got any more.
Yeah.
These ones. Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, these ones. Whoa. Hang on a minute. Let's turn that crazy music down. Let's talk about this. What the heck? What we seen there, Scotty boy? Oh. That makes me think of Stargate Whoa, Stargate Universe. Now that looks very square. It looks like, I don't know. Look at that. That's massive. Let's face it. That's massive. Like miles big.
I think they're. I don't think when they show these ones like with super mega UFOs around the sun.
You know who the best one is for this? Dazza the cameraman. He actually goes and he gets like the manuals and the known specs and the known defaults and artifacts for all the telescopes and things.
Yeah.
So there's glitches that they know about, that they talk about, and it sounds bad. I love Dazza. I've had him on the show a few years ago. It's boring to watch, but I tell you what, man, he explains it. It's science, there's an explanation.
Yeah, there's camera glitches and things like that, and I also think that there's also like all kinds of weird plasma discharges going off around the sun anyways, that you're gonna see weird effects like that close to the sun. It could be electromagnetic pulses or discharges or something like that. Just because you see this kind of weird anomaly, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a UFO harnessing energy from the sun.
Committee votes to require the Pentagon to release the reports. And like I was saying before you came along, Scott, it's very public. They're making sure the public hear and see what they're saying about the UFOs and all that kind of stuff going on. While we've had the rumbling, slow burn, controlled disclosure going on from ATIP and the Pentagon, Luis Elizondo, all that jazz. Hey, dude, it's 2020. Come on, man. Are we looking at it? Are we looking at the last card? The last card, Scott. Come on.
So you really want that?
There's another way to look at it, though. Think about it this way, then. Let me ask you this. Great reset going on. Talking about technology, new technology coming all the time, fast now, Scott. Automation this, automation that. And if there is this breakaway civilization, I'm not talking about living on the moon, but technology way advanced with ours, then you slowly have to kind of close the gap, or at least increase the populace's knowledge on what technology is capable of doing before you roll it all out. You see what I'm saying? They bring you up to speed before you know it, wow, we're in Star Trek.
It's the same thing they did in the 50s, right? All the sci-fi movies, all the 50s and 60s, it was all Star Trek, sci-fi films, kind of letting everybody know what, in a way, it was kind of letting everybody know what future technology was going to bring everyone, under the guise of sci-fi film and all of that. And so maybe, this is their way of unveiling a lot of the technology that they have that they know that people are going to be witnessing, because there's no way of hiding a lot of the stuff that people are going to be seeing in the skies, right? And so you get this kind of faux disclosure coming out to prepare people that, oh, you're going to be seeing a lot of stuff in the skies, and we're looking into it. We're totally looking into it, Kev.
Well, what if I told you there's some really strange things happening around the world right now? What if I told you there's people on Twitter that think we've got a photograph of the future and what the year 2026 is going to look like?
Oh boy!
Let's take a look at this. Okay, so this picture is supposedly from the future, USA in 2026, after the 5-year Dalton minimum, which is just starting just now. And the last time was 1790 to 1820, and this is obviously the reason the sun has been letting off solar flares. Hashtag Great Awakening, refuse, where we go one, we go all, UFO. That's that there, so you've got this picture. Wait, now, Scott, you have to wait, though. You have to wait, dude. You have to wait, right? Because you know me, anything to do with time-related stuff and chronovisors and the potential for chrononauts or people coming back from the future with evidence, I'm on it. Like a bonnet, God on it, right? And anytime it comes to an image, it simples. Isn't it, Scott, when it's an image? Because you just drop it into image search, don't you? I mean, if it's from the future, you wouldn't expect to find it on the internet, right? I mean, it's from a secret super source within, like, the intel community. They're not going to, like, blag you, are they? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, well, you see, the thing is, that image, as I went on the reverse search, and it's not 2026, folks. It's actually 2033. And it's not even in this world or our reality. It's a computer game called Metro. And, yeah, picture supposedly from... So, hey, we're not going to be seeing that picture in 2026 then, Scott? No, it's not going to be coming to fruition. The chronovisor was off on that one.
All they had to do was...
easy it is, Scott. You see how easy this is? It's not fair being over there. It's wrong, right?
All they had to do was wait for Microsoft Flight Simulator to get a little better before they decided to take some in-game screenshots and try to pass it off as reality. Come on, people. Wait till Microsoft gets the simulation a little bit better before you go that route.
And just in case anyone, I know anyone that's into that will have already tuned out, Scott. I know they've already rejected me and I'm getting paid by Soros, but here it is here, folks. There's the picture. And it says Metro last night in an atmospheric shooter. There's your time.
You know, it was
travel.
hilarious. I was, as he was showing that, and, you know, I could barely contain myself. I didn't want... I was literally about to say, man, that just looks like a screenshot from, like,
Somebody
Metro
in the chat room says, that looks like a painting. I'm thinking, yeah, it's one of the concept
yeah,
arts. You're on
exactly.
it.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was like, man, it looks like some concept art or something from Metro 2033, and sure enough, it's Metro 2033.
See? So listen, folks, that was a bit of fun, but I'm still not done with strange things happening around the world. No, we're not. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about, we've mentioned before, but it builds up to something that we haven't talked about yet, that we really need to have a little yarn on. We really have to, me and Scott, have a little discussion on something that's coming. But let's bring you up to speed on something else that's weird. It's been rumbling on in 2020. This one here. India. Now we've got the massive locusts. That was 2 hours ago. There we go. We see them there. Parts of the Indian capital, Delhi, have been placed on alert after a swarm of locusts invaded the suburban area. Now, correspondents say it's the first time that the suburb city of Gurgaon, or Gurugram, has seen a locust invasion. First time ever in 2020? Why does that not surprise me? Footage on social media shows tens of thousands of insects flying over buildings and landing on rooftops. There we go. Oh, looking nasty. Looking well nasty, right? Not good. Blow it up a little bit. See it better. You don't want them flying in your mouth, Scotty boy. Ah, ooh, creepy crawlies, right? But
probably not a very, very good time to be a motorcycle driver.
Oh, heck no.
Yeah, no.
Heck no. But that's not the only place, Scott. It gets worse, right? 5 million people at risk of starvation, and it's nothing to do with what that other thing is in the world right now. Look at this. This is Africa. A locust outbreak could leave nearly 5 million people in Africa facing starvation with everything that's already going on in the world. And the crisis comes on top of food insecurity already. Yep. The woo-ha-ha. And then a locust swarm can contain as many 80 million adults. Holy bagoli. And a swarm can consume the same amount of food in one day as 35,000 people. Scotty, what the heck, dude?
I don't know, man. This whole locust swarm thing is pretty crazy.
Bloody 2020.
Yeah, 2020, man, 2020. But is this like a cycle? I wonder if like this is a cycle that scientists, like haven't really picked up on. Like, I wonder, is there a cycle of locust swarms, almost kind of like a cicada cycle where they?
Oh my goodness, Scott Lopez, you freaky man. We're gonna be back in a minute, folks. I'm gonna take you into something really creepy, really weird next. But in 2020, Scott Lopez, without knowing, he knows how to segue into it. Because we're going to talk about the return of the sex-crazed zombie cicadas. Yes, indeed. So go fill your glasses, make a cuppa, PPP if that's the way you like to roll. We'll be back with you in a moment. It's going to be brown chicken, brown cow, creepy cicadas. Maria in the chat room. Marie, this is one of the things that really start to put me off the whole looking at UFO stuff. Because you start to see the same content being regurgitated. And that's why, you got people like me and Scotty and a lot of people in the chat room have been doing this for a while as well, That's why we like to kind of crowdsource this stuff. Because many minds coming together, there's more chance that some of us maybe have seen it before. And don't let it disillusion you. That's all I would say. And as well, hey, we can have a laugh with some of the ones that have been regurgitated, because that's how we roll here. I still can't believe Scott Lopez, he knew where we were going next. It's creepy, it's weird, but that's how we roll around here, right?
How dare
Yeah,
you?
Yes,
we
Scott.
definitely have a lot of these synchronistic moments, don't we, Kev?
Yeah, it'd be alright if it was just you. But it seems to be like happening all the time, all around me. It's just high weirdness. But Joe Joseph told me that when you're on the vibe, when you're tuned in, when you're on it, you start to see the synchronicities. You start to see the road signs. And again, 2020, Scott, I think this is a huge year on cosmic levels, cosmic cycles, the kind of stuff that maybe we kind of speculate on, but we don't really have the language to explain it. You know, it's almost like an upgrade in the consciousness, going from the lower hemisphere into the higher, like a wave, right? We go up and we go down. Civilizations, they rise and fall. And that's what I think. It's kind of weird. That's that weird vibe that's going on right now. And some people they're being maybe now more aware of things that were always there, Scott. Maybe the synchronicities were always around us, but now we see them more. Or maybe we draw them to us more. I don't know what it is, dude, but there's something quantum and weird about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's just I don't know, like maybe people are starting to notice it more, but is that because everybody's kind of...
Well, I'll give you my weirdest one, right then. The weirdest one is doing the first show with the Australians, as you do, and then they were talking about a crazy stone that was linked up with the Pleiades, and it's men's business, and Donnie was saying how he went into the room and, it made him feel sick, and had to leave the place, Scott, right? Real powerful juju, like the Ark of the Covenant, right? You got to be really kind of skilled to be in its presence in the first place. Then I got a book through the post, and I had Bruce Fenton on the show, and he's got a theory into Africa, and it's an alternative kind of story about the evolution of mankind, how we came out of Australia. But his wife, she's written a book as well. And I thought I'd only ordered Bruce's book, so the books came. And then I got this other book, which is called, give us a second. Hybrid Humans, right? And it's the scientific evidence for our 800,000-year-old alien legacy. Scott, this book was basically adding the science and referencing scientific reports and studies that were confirming the same story that the people from Australia had been telling me, right? And even worse, in it, the most fascinating part of the book is a bit about something called the Chiringa stone. And it's a stone that's linked up with the Pleiades, and something that's Aboriginal business, and it's basically the same story in this book that I was getting told like a week before on a show. I mean, that's beyond synchronicity. It'd be easy to really fall into that rabbit hole and start to believe things that might not be true. But wow, dude, it's crazy.
It's just the time for the information to come out, and you happen to be the vessel that is utilized to put that information out there.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with being a vessel, Scott. I can't remember signing up for being a vessel. I like that you're a vessel. I don't remember signing up to be a vessel or a conduit or anything along that kind of lines. Not happy with this twist in the story.
It's like when lightning strikes, right? Have you ever seen like super slow motion video of lightning and how it actually descends from the cloud? You know, like it's a bunch of feeler sparks. Yeah, a bunch of feeler sparks coming down from the cloud, and you know, whatever it happens to randomly touch first is what becomes the conduit, if you will. Well, lightning struck, Kev, and you just happen to be the conduit.
Said vessel. Yes.
Your vessel. I think that's what's going on.
Penny in the chat room. Hold on. And I'll bring that up for you, Penny. She's asking how to get a hold of the book. It is here. obviously it's our very favourite Amazon, and that's it there. You see, I had ordered this one into Africa. That's the one I'd ordered. And then 2 books came, Scott. I've not even read Into Africa yet. I dived right into this bad boy here. And Exogenesis, Hybrid Humans, that's my next one. So hopefully I'm going to be getting Daniela and Bruce back on the show to do a special on this. I think there's a very key part to a story that we have to remember, like Scott said, at this exact time. Doesn't mean any of us are special for putting it together, or, well, we do have to put special thanks to Auntie Luna and Uncle Donny for bringing the information. But again, it's the time. It's like I said on Freaky Friday last night, right? It's a special time, special information, and only in 2020. Wouldn't it just be the way, Scott? You know? Muted and booted. I think you're muted. Oh.
Yes, I was muted. Yes. No, the stars have aligned, Kev. And you know, there's a reason that saying exists, you know. The stars have aligned because you know, we talk about this what is this? The super retrograde? Is that what's going on right now?
Super duper whack ball retrograde, dude.
Yeah, it's not just your average Mercury.
Having some real deep thoughts, man. Like, I wouldn't even share them, Scott. Maybe me and you offline, you know, but whoa, dude, it's like crazy stuff. But listen, there is something else crazy that's happening, and this ties in with cycles. And I was smiling when you were talking about the cycles of the locusts, because I knew we were going to be talking about cicadas. Now, the cicadas are not due to arrive until maybe next year. However, Vice have done a piece, and there's a video on it that I can't show because of copyright reasons, but we're going to look at their article. And the cicadas are coming back early, perhaps, because temperatures are rising. And not only that, though, there's a specific fungus that attacks just the cicadas. Yeah. That basically eats them up from the tail. It eats off their abdomen. It eats off their rectum. It eats off their genitalia. But on the flip side, despite losing all of that function, brown chicken, brown cow, it turns it into an absolute sex maniac zombie cicada. And all they want to do, Scotty boy, all they want to do is brown chicken, brown cow, my man. And they're coming to the East Coast. I think it's the East Coast, is it, Scott? Of America that they come to, or is it all over, man?
It's all over.
Is that,
they're different. There's different cicada colonies, and depending on the colony, depends on the cycle, the year cycle that they wake up and stuff like that. I actually have a video that we took here when we had a 17-year cicada cycle. It killed our weeping willow tree in the backyard because so many cicadas got on it and ate it.
Does it sound like this?
Recovered. No.
No.
I'll send you the video and I'll show you what it sounds.
It'll stop in a second. I forgot to set it to slow down. I'm an idiot. Hey, Mammoth in the chat room. G'day, Cobber. G'day.
Give me one.
No Australian woo today, Scott. You'll be pleased to hear. No, nothing Australian. Not today.
Oh.
Maybe you never know where we'll end up though, because it's kind of live divey on here today. Yes, indeed. So, like I say, folks, this is adding to my strange things around the world. And while Scott digs that, just this by-headline: millions of cicadas are making a joyous debut after, Scott, 17 years underground. Except those whose butts and genitals have been eaten by a fungus. Imagine that, dude. All they do is, like, get born to, like, brown chicken, brown cow. And then, like, when they get out after 17 years, their dangly bits have been eaten away. That's like, savage, dude. Okay, I'll pull this up.
Dude, the sound was absolutely deafening. It was insane how loud.
This is you that filmed this, Scotty, yeah?
Yeah, actually, it was my
go.
mom that filmed it out of our back door.
Hey, Tana.
Yep.
Whoa!
Yeah, listen to that noise, dude.
That's
you can't
rough,
really
man.
see them too good because the video's kind of low resolution, but there were thousands of them just buzzing around that tree and just flying around. They were all in that tree. Anyways, they ended up killing that tree, but it was so loud you could hear that inside the house with the door shut and everything. You could still hear the cicadas out there just this constant nonstop.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man.
You liking this, Scott? We've got a wee studio now where we can look at things. Our ugly mushes are off of there. We've got the Rogues Gallery at the bottom. I'm going to put Zordon in there, Scott. I'm going to warn you now publicly. Zordon is going in as your...
Cool.
That's cool.
Awesome.
We're good. We're good to go with that one. Okay, then. That's cool. Awesome. So we'll come back to the cicada story just quickly, just to let people know what's going on and why I think it's relevant. The fact that the cycle might be slightly changing, that's pretty relevant. And yeah, it's going to be pretty weird, especially, again, 2020, this is a pretty typical headline now. There's nothing really too bad about that. But it says here, and that's the video. It's only 5 minutes, folks, but Vice would absolutely kill the channel off for daring to even watch it. The cicada summer is here. Millions of periodic cicadas are emerging from Virginia, West Virginia, and North Carolina after hibernating underground for 17 years. They've missed everything from the creation of YouTube to Trump being elected. And the cicada's unique life cycle comes as a means. Think about that there. 17 years. You know, if you've been in a coma for 17 years, you've missed, like, the YouTube and everything, Scott. That's crazy.
Very fascinating creature, the cicada.
I was learning. On you go.
I was saying, you know, especially these periodic ones, because you have your annual cicadas. You have what we would call your regular cicadas, right? And they come out every year and they do their thing. But the periodic ones are the ones that are really interesting because, yeah, they just stay burrowed in the ground in a state of, like you said, it's like a state of stasis for...
They just basically gnaw on roots in a little cocoon until they're ready to go, and then...
Yeah,
and it was
for 17 years.
Yeah, it was saying that because, like, they're susceptible to predators, they have this strategy where they swarm any potential predator, and there's just like bajillions of them, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then with the cicadas, we get a insect that I absolutely hate called the cicada killer, which is a predator wasp.
Like a murder hornet?
Yes, it's our own murder hornet, but it specifically targets cicadas. And so they're generally found up in the tops of trees, and they don't really fly at ground level, but sometimes you get a cicada killer that flies a little low, and it'll freak you the hell out because you can hear them. You can hear them flying by. They're like...
You see, it was explaining this as well, how this is really a vital part to, like, the nature cycle, because they come out, they have lots of happy time.
Yes.
They either get eaten or they die off. But that layer of cicadas, the millions of them, Scott, that's nutrients that goes into the ground, feeds the ones that are still in it. It's all part of the cycle, man.
So many dead cicadas when that 17-year cycle happened, you know, when we took that video. They were just all over the place. And I remember the birds were going absolutely bonkers. They loved it. The birds were just loving it. And think we had our chickens at the time. They were just in hog heaven, man, because there's like this ample food supply that literally is just covering the ground, you know, because they were all over the place. So yeah, I mean, you could definitely see how that would have a huge effect on the ecosystem, and anything that feeds on insects is having an absolute heyday when the cicada cycle happens. So yeah, man.
Just 2020.
What?
2020, man. The cicada's unique life cycle comes as a means of predator avoidance, and this is basically, it was talking about that as well. They've evolved and adapted to where they know the best time to come out to avoid their predators. I mean, come on. What the heck? All random, you say? Yeah. Whatever.
Interesting phenomenon I gotta point out as well is when we had the almost 100% eclipse here in northeast Kansas. Remember when the eclipse was moving over and all that, and we were just outside of the zone, like, to get a perfect eclipse. But we had like a 99% eclipse, and I remember when it got real dark during the peak of it, the cicadas started singing because they thought it was the sun was going down, and that's when they get all noisy and active, you know. So
tricks them, totally tricks their body clock, man.
When the eclipse came out, all of a sudden you started hearing the cicadas, and you go, and you're like,
that noise would. I mean, did you have to sleep with that noise going on?
Well, it's interesting because when the 17-year cycle happens, you know, normally on an average summer day when you have your regular cicadas out, you can hear them more individually, right? So you can hear the kind of the pulsing sound. And when you're inside, you generally don't hear it. But during the 17-year cycle, there were so many of them that you couldn't even hear, like, distinguish between them. It was just a constant noise, like you heard in the video. It was just this constant hissing sound. It was really bizarre, and it almost became like a white noise in a way, you know. So, but when you're inside, it wasn't as jarring as when you were outside. But yeah, you have to play that again. That's just.
Oh man. I could drive you slowly insane, that.
Yeah, you can't even hear individual cicadas. It's just all of them just putting their sound out. It just becomes a very crazy sound.
Every time you say cicada, I think of Shakira, and I want to go like Shakira, cicada. There you go, new song and everything.
Just imagine like a million, just like imagine thousands of people with maracas shaking them, but not in unison. You know,
dude, that's me because I've got no rhythm at all, Scott. We'll get the maracas out, man.
Like, but yeah, it was wild. It was wild.
We're gonna have we could make like some kind of nature's orchestra. We could have the didge. We could overlay some of the cicadas, man. You see where I'm going with this, dude? It'd be some vibration going. Big shout out to Marty as well. PayPal, thank you so much, Marty. And if you do want to support the stream, folks, I don't ever try and push it, but there's PayPal links in the description. You've got the super chat as well. We're only a few days away from finding out whether we're going to get all of our memberships cancelled over on the bigger channel. And if that does happen, then we will switch the memberships on here, and then we'll have the bigger channel for some more riskier content, because let's face it, it'll probably never get out of that loop again. So anyway, with that said, cicadas, anything else on the pesky cicada, Scott?
You know what's funny about them? Just some interesting fun facts about cicadas is I don't know about do y'all have cicadas over there in the UK?
Right, I don't want to say yes and I don't want to say no. I actually thought about this today. I thought about it, dude, and I thought, I don't know. I bloody well don't know. I thought when you weren't here, nobody's gonna ask me, because if it got asked in the chat, I'd ignore it. And Spooky Andy says somebody needs to take that noise and shove it clean up somebody's. Not good.
And you know what? What's crazy is that these cicada swarms, the 17-year cycle ones, they're only isolated to very certain areas of the United States. It's not like everybody experiences them. And we have one of these 17-year colonies that are up here in northeast Kansas, but like if you live in any other area of Kansas, you're not going to experience that because they're only kind of isolated to that area.
Does Popeye's not sound like that every night because he lives in like swampland?
He has a cacophony of many, many different animal noises.
And he sleeps
I think,
with chickens now. Let's face it, he's obsessed with chickens, right? Come on, Scott. He's not here. He's not here, right? But you know how people like take to posting pictures of their dinner on Facebook and things, and that's cool. I've been there. I've done that. But Popeye's become that guy that doesn't post cat videos. He posts chicken information. He's even got like where to get the best chicken feeder. It's like, are we to worry about Popeye? Has he gone like full blue chicken?
Look, he's the chicken king, right? He literally is. He's Joe Exotic, but he's the chicken version.
Joe Exotic, man. There's a character. I'd love to interview him live from jail. What a loon. I could hang out with Joe Exotic, man. He's my kind of crazy. I'm Team Joe. Forget that Baskin. She done it. Don't care what anyone says. She done it.
When Popeye told me, he said, "Okay, you got to go watch The Tiger King," right?
I laughed when I heard that conversation happening between the two of you. I thought, that loon ball. No, never.
Well, you know, like I kind of saw the little rundown of kind of the dumpster fire that was going to unfold in that show, you know. And then as soon as I started watching it and it said Wynnewood, Oklahoma, I said, oh, okay, that explains a lot. That explains a lot because Florida gets a lot of heat for Florida man, right? But
that's a character, man.
Hey,
damn, dude.
Oklahoma is pulling in a very, very solid. Florida man needs to watch out. Let's just put it that way, because we got our own characters out here in the middle of the country. Midwest represent.
I didn't realize so many people in the States kept big cats like that, dude. What is it with Americans keeping big things? You have to do everything bigger, Scott. Bigger engines, bigger Big Macs, bigger food, bigger people, bigger pets, bigger explosions, bigger... And we'll get on to explosions as well. I need to ask you something about explosions as we move on. But what is it, dude, with people keeping like big tigers and things?
You ever heard the saying "go big or go home"? That's essentially that's just the
American dream. Is that the real American dream?
That's the real American
big or
dream.
Not at all. I want the biggest. I want bigger.
If you're gonna fail spectacularly. Like, just make it the
Joe Exotic levels, man.
Yes, if you're gonna win spectacularly.
I don't like that cat that took the place off him, though. He was a sneaky, shady piece of work, that one, man.
Yeah.
Jeff, or whatever his name was. Yeah. People, if you haven't watched The Tiger King, honestly, it sounds ridiculous. It looks pathetic. But you'll be like that every time an episode ends. I need to see what happens on this Clown World show next. I mean, there he is doing his country and western. I can't show it. But this guy thought he was like a... I mean, he basically... I think we've got more viewers right now than Joe Exotic TV used to get. And he thought he was like the world's biggest superstar, man, didn't he?
Had a little bit of an ego.
A little bit bigger than the cats, you know?
Yeah, just a tad. Just
but there was one guy in it who he had the long hair, he had like a teeth, like a hand grenade had gone off in his mouth, you know, but this guy had like a relationship with those cats, Scott. And I think he still works there now. There was one thing that he said that I really kind of thought about it, and he said, you know, 'cause somebody said to him, what is it about working with the cats and shit, you know? He says, until you've walked with a tiger, no point talking to you about it. And I thought, damn, dude, that's got to give you some kind of adrenaline buzz with a big tiger on your arm, you know what I mean?
It does, because you're literally like one-on-one with probably one of the top apex predators that exist on the earth, you know, and the power and the you know what that thing is capable of. And I think where a lot of these people that buy them and kind of get into that, it kind of gives you a sense of like you said, an adrenaline rush and a sense of
how cute that thing.
Look how badass I am, that I can sit here with an apex predator and not be harmed, you know. But you're testing your luck, though. You're testing your luck a little bit. I mean, there was a few sketchy moments.
Remember, he thought
Mr.
like Baskin had put like tuna oil on his boots. I think he's trying to eat him.
That little incident in the cage, it was like, ooh.
Dude, then there's like people walking about missing bits, and Unirock got the girl. Remember the girl that got her arm taken off? He had her on his stream, dude. Can't remember her name, but yeah, she came onto the stream with Uni, and that it was awesome. But what a show! Now I don't know if there's going to be a season 2 or not, but yeah. Old Joe Exotic, character, absolute character.
I don't think we'll see a season 2 unless some developments take place as far as Carol Baskin and her former husband are concerned, and if new stuff comes to light that maybe Mr. Exotic can cut a deal and get out of prison early. Remember, he said he had a lot of information on other people that he was willing to.
That's what I think there might be. You never know, there might be something else, you know. Right, Scott, there's something I need to ask you about, right?
Yes.
4th of July is coming up. I know from having hung around with you for a few years now, you like to make big booms come the 4th of July. And quite right as well.
Oh.
Quite right as well, dude. However, now this might seem insane, but I'm only relaying the information to set us up. There's been a lot of people talking about too many fireworks going off lately, like explosions going on through the night. And one guy I've seen talking about it is Harry Vox. He shot to prominence with everything that's going on in the world right now. He predicted it like years ago. He was on with Max Egan as well. But lately he's been talking on our channel called Helen of Destroy about these explosions that they keep on hearing at all hours in New York. And lots of people reporting them. The police saying, it's all right, it's just fireworks. But seemingly not shouldn't be fireworks going off there. But then there's other places around the country as well. We had Philadelphia, where they had been reporting almost like psychological warfare type stuff going on through the night. Sounded like constant shelling. Now, this was like right back at the start of the protests over Mr. Floyd and all that stuff was kicking off. And it made me think of what Andy had spoke about with Operation Wandering Soul. The potential that there was noises being played. Because you were hearing like people coming out, Scott, into the street. Looked like a pretty nice neighbourhood. Late at night, and people, what the hell's all these explosions going on, you know? So, is it just a typical build-up to July the 4th? Is it just one of these things that now everything's over hyped and we look at everything maybe with the wrong perspective and we're looking for deeper meaning? Or is there something weirder going on here?
I don't know.
I've heard people talking about it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's been this record level of fireworks being sold this year in general. And I think I'm look, I'm not going to say that there's not some kind of a woo factor to it, but I think in general, a lot of these booms are fireworks.
And just with everything going on, people, yeah.
With the okay, first of all, everybody was locked down, so
Yeah, so
a
more
lot
people
of
are at home. You hear it more.
A lot of people are bored. They're pulling out old fireworks that they have left in the closet because, let's be honest, there's a lot of people that have leftover fireworks. I mean, that's just how it is here in the U.S. Whenever most of the time you have fireworks left over from the year before, and so I think people getting bored and going outside and popping fireworks. Okay, yeah. But there's also like a lot of high-grade professional fireworks that are being sold illegally, and you're seeing like a lot of that going on. I saw a thing, they were talking to somebody in New York, and they said that there's like this dude driving around, this mysterious black van driving around New York, and he's selling professional grade mortars, like firework mortars, out of the van to people. And which I thought was kind of interesting. We have this like rogue fireworks seller going around New York, kind of funny. But then you've had all the civil unrest, right? And fireworks are usually one of the weapons of choice when it comes to people protesting, right? They like to throw fireworks at the police lines and all of that stuff. So you got that going on. So you got a combination of bored people, people have been bored, locked down, popping fireworks. You've got civil unrest and protesters utilizing fireworks. And then you just got everybody in general buying more fireworks because everybody wants to go all out on the 4th of July this year, I think. I think everybody's been so stir crazy, and this lockdown has caused everyone to just...
exasperated it, eh?
Everybody's going to go all out on the 4th. They're going to really use it to kind of vent, I would say, and either way, too.
Exercise that constitutional right, baby. That's it. Dang, dude.
I mean, you're going to have people on both sides just kind of venting their, you'll have whatever, your protesters, all that stuff. They're going to use that as a day to do with their...
Scott Lopez, hold the bus. We are going to Australia. Fireworks have been banned in Australia for years. Used to get them from Canberra, so they've got the Sydney, like when that's New Year, you got the Sydney fireworks. Dude, that's like awesome to watch. But again, what have I kept on saying to people? Keep an eye on Australia, not just for the woo, because they really are. Oof, they're a place to keep your eye on. If you're into Big Brothery Orwellian type stuff. But we're not going there tonight because there's stranger things than that happening around the world. We've done UFOs, we've done locusts, we've done cicadas. We've even talked about the potential for weirdness with fireworks coming on July the 4th, but next.
Well, I mean, but going back to these explosions and booming sounds, there is something going on, though, besides the fireworks. And
you want to put a voice changer on or something? I'll blank your face out and it'll sound all like Morocco Mole and we've got an insider in it. Warp our asses off.
I'll have to find some kind of a...
It's alright, Scott, my After Effects now. Oh, get a load of this, Scott. Do you know what I've sussed out how to do? I've sussed out how to take a picture of your face and my face and stick it onto, like, famous movie scenes and things, like tracking kind of stuff. You see with these memes where you've got things in front of the actor's faces. Well, me and you are going to be on one of them very soon. Very fair use. It's transformative art. It's only a couple of seconds and it'll be very relevant to the crap me and Scott talk about. So there you go.
Okay, so like if I'm going to get into my like conspiratorial insider information.
How dare he? Oh my.
I'll have to switch to this.
Oh, indeedy. Okay, Lopez. Mr. P. Can I call you P?
Yes.
You know, I wasn't calling you something else. So P, tell me, you're a bit of an expert, bit of a dab hand when it comes to like events with fireworks and protesting in particular. Is there anything that we, the general public, should be worried about? Pee, where we go pee, we pee all. That sounds wrong, but it's what we do. Pee, talk to me, man.
Yes. Apart from the fireworks, remember the 5th of November. We definitely have some mystery boom action going on as well. Intertwined, mixed in, if you will, with the fireworks. So
this is almost like talking to Nostradamus. It's like I'm scrying through a weird mirror here. It's like they've got this ripple effect. But while I've got you here, P, while I've got you here, the 4th of July. I mean, you're an expert when it comes to the whole Guy Fawkes night and things. But America, you know, and do we have anything, do you think, to worry about there? Do you see any shenanigans, P?
Yes. I smell shenanigans afoot.
Oh my. My, oh my.
I really do. I think the 4th is going to be a day that people are going to have to pay attention to because, like I said, tensions are boiling over. Somebody's going to do something stupid. And there's a lot of alcohol that also likes to flow on the 4th.
Well, there's one last thing. And I know you're obviously a reincarnation of the late, great Guy Fawkes, obviously. And, you know, there's been great fires and things in that famous city as well, Scott, you know, London. Or, sorry, P. And I believe there was a famous fire around the time of a deadly sickness that was going around at one point as well. You don't think we're going to have some kind of like creepy repeating history thing going on, do you?
We shall find out.
Oh, no, you heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first.
How dare you? Excuse me, it's ma'am.
He is not a ma'am. I will tell you, I don't care. You are definitely not a ma'am. He called you a ma'am. Not you, but the guy that you just channeled through your channel type thing.
Oh, okay. Sorry for the interference there, people. Sometimes that'll happen, but...
Dude, so I've had my really cool psychic reading in the past couple of days. Big shout out to Little Glob. Really enjoyed that. Now we've been channeling P, where we P1, we P on all. That's like something you would find on an entirely different website. But now, what if I was to tell you that we're going to take the strangeness in the world to another level? Because we're going to be talking about, we haven't talked about this one in a good while, Scotty boy, the Chupacabra. And it's been sighted in Georgia, no less, yes. Fans of the Chupacabra know that the Cryptid comes in 2 flavors. The traditional upright, spike-backed, reptile-like, goat blood-sucking creature that originated in Puerto Rico, and the 4-legged, dog-like, furless creature that appears much more often and don't look anywhere as frightening as their reputation would suggest. Today's sighting is of the second kind, but it's in a state that has its share of strange creatures and invasive species. Can this be one to add to the list? What in the world is that? So according to the website, GA Followers, GA is Georgia's 2-letter abbreviation. I'm glad it put that there because I probably wouldn't have got that. And that's what people across Georgia are wondering after seeing a video of a strange-looking creature spotted by Parker Littman in Buckhead. Buckhead? Those familiar with Atlanta know that Buckhead is an exclusive uptown residential, business and financial area in the district of Atlanta that would be more likely to be home to predatory lenders than predatory cryptids. Yet, that's where Littman claims he saw the creature, and we can see it for ourselves. Are we going to do it, Scott? Of course we are. Here we go. Let's see. Whoa. Whoa, that looks like a burnt fox or a shaved fox or something, man.
That looks like, to me, it looks like a fox with mange.
Yep. Yeah. I'm going with that.
It looks like, yeah.
Yeah, recent video taken by Parker
Or a
Littman.
coyote. Yeah,
We
it
got
could be
the
a
video.
coyote with mange or a fox with mange.
No, the video's not there, man. Let's see. Watch our video. I don't do Insta. So, no. So we're not buying that one then, Scott. We're not thinking it is. Oh, looks like a fox with mange, it says, look. So, after weeding out all of the derogatory comments, a few left seem to agree that the Littman's creature is a fox, a coyote, or a dog with mange. A common problem among wild canines and furry animals living in cities where they're often malnourished or sick. I've even seen a report, Scott, about how the foxes over here, they were studying them, and their snouts are getting like they're almost evolving to be thinner so they can get into bins, and it's crazy. They're adapting, you know.
Yeah,
Foxes everywhere, man. I don't mind foxes. I don't see them as vermin. I don't have a problem with them, but
if you're keeping chickens or small
Popeye,
then they become an issue. Like, I'm not for killing an animal if it's not causing a problem, but if it's causing a problem to your livestock and all of that, then you got to handle that situation. Like, I don't agree with like the fox hunting just for sport, like for no reason, you know. But if you're a farmer and a fox is on your property, like killing your livestock or killing, then that's a different situation. You've got to take care of that. I'm like that with all hunting. I don't hunting for sport.
especially
I don't really.
especially a fox or something, you know.
Yeah. But if you're hunting to actually utilize the animal to feed your family or something like that, that's a completely different story.
That's nature again. You show respect and you do it right, you know.
Yeah, if you're going deer hunting or hog hunting or whatever, and
it was like Justa talking to hogs. He was showing us some of the hogs that he has to take care of for his neighbors, you know. Crazy looking things, man.
Where's Justa from? Because
he's Texas.
I was just about to say he's probably in Texas, because the feral hog problem in Texas is
He's
insane.
also on our rogues gallery there. He's got the thumb up. Look at him looking all proud in that. Yeah, big Justa.
I wonder, Justa, have you had a chance to do any of the helicopter hunts yet? Because those are awesome.
He might have done. He was showing me his grouping with his crazy scope that he's got. And obviously I had to take it 3 clicks down. It was a bit high and to the right. But man, this thing was like, dude.
They're so evasive out there that like ranchers and, you know, farmers that own lots of land and stuff, they will let people fly over with helicopters and just snipe out the feral hogs, you know, and it helps everybody out. I mean, you have an entire kind of business of people, you know, that go out on these hog hunt tours, you know, and then it helps the farmers out and it helps the ranchers out to keep this evasive population down, because they're destructive.
Oh, I wouldn't like to get on the wrong side of one, man. They look absolutely demonic. They do. And talking of demonic, this takes a demonic twist, this little story. Let's see. Oh yes, let's see. You see, yeah.
You know what? I'm going to use this one when we start talking about creepy cryptids, and maybe it can also apply to the koof as well, because it's just a creepy. Here we go. I'll put this on. Ha ha ha.
Oh, that's a creepy one, man.
Yes.
Oh, that's creepy. Very creepy. So it says Georgia has plenty of wildness left to house alligators or wilderness left to house alligators and a variety of snakes, reptiles, and amphibians. So the Puerto Rican style of chupacabra might survive better there than a sickly dog-like one. And on a cryptid site, Georgia has its share of Bigfoot sightings. But the monster the state is most famous for is the Atlamaha, a giant serpent-ish water creature that lives allegedly in the Altamaha River and is more akin to the Loch Ness Monster than a chupacabra. And a better possibility is the Wog, a demon dog said to live in a boggy mud volcano near Winder, Georgia, which is a mere 50 miles from Buckhead. The native Creek people called it Nodorok, the gateway to hell. We talked about the gateway to hell yesterday, remember? Hell's Gate Dam, that was it, wasn't it? And used it to dump bodies of executed prisoners that were taken to the underworld by the red-eyed, fork-tongued Wog. Europeans who came to the area blamed the disappearance of livestock on the Wog. Probably cancel that type of cryptid soon with a name like that. Or it could be a figment of the imagination of stir-crazed Buckheadians dying to get out of the lockdown and see anything that's outside. However, the photograph shows the creature is real, but the needle still points to a figment of the imagination when trying to call it a chupacabra. It is not a chupacabra. Now, it mentioned Loch Ness in there. Now we're going to go for more strange stuff around the world. It's the Oregon Nessie. Ever heard of this one, Scott?
The Oregon Nessie? No, I haven't.
That is very off-putting. That is very disturbing and very creepy. Not good. Yeah, definitely creeped out. Nick Redfern is back with us. It is the first week of 1885. Oh, thank goodness for that, dude. That was like weird. All I could see out the corner of my eye was this creepy red-eyed thing. It was like the Mothman.
Excuse me, it's man.
Not in this case, it wasn't. I'm literally talking about the Mothman, you absolute freakball.
Excuse me, it's man.
Okay, you have your way. It was the first week in 1885 in the Oregon-based Wallowa Chieftain newspaper published a story on its very own equivalent of the Loch Ness or Scotland's most famous monster. I totally made that bit up there. Did you see that? Nessie. Now, it goes by the distinctly non-monstrous name of Wally. And there is a good reason for that. It is, or they are, said to lurk in the waters of Wallowa Lake in Oregon. I have real problems saying that. Scott, how do you say that then? Wallowa. It sounds like it's from Hawaii. Wallowa.
Yeah, Wallowa.
Wallowa Lake. Yes.
Yeah.
Ever heard of this one?
No, I haven't.
It's
Good stuff.
an approximately 3.5 meter long body of water, depth close to 300 feet. And before we get to the story, let's have a look at the lake itself. Ice Age forces shaped the area around Wallowa Lake, and the lateral moraines along the east and west edges of the lake were carved by glaciers. So where's the monster story? So then, now, with that said, let's get back to the story of 1885. It goes as follows. A prospector who refuses to give his name to the public was coming down from the south end of the lake on last Friday evening in a skiff shortly after dusk, when about midway of the lake he saw an animal about 50 yards to the right of the boat rear its head up and neck out of the water 10 to 12 feet. But on setting him, it immediately dived. I imagine that's seeing him. Now he ceased rowing and gazed around in astonishment for the strange apparition which he had seen when it raised about the same distance to the left, this time giving a low bellow, something like that of a cow. It also brought its body to the surface, which the prospector avers was 100 feet in length, and the monster glided along in sight for several hundred yards, and it was too dark to see the animal distinctly, but it seemed to have a large, flat head, something like that of a hippopotamus, and its neck, which was about 10 feet in length, was as large as a man's body. Wow. That's a new one on me, Scotty boy. Big time.
Yeah, very interesting.
Wally the monster. It's got a cool name. How didn't that take off? You know? And that was before. 1885 is like 10 years before the first real recorded in media, like the old papers of Loch Ness. So it's not like this guy was just kind of trying to spin a yarn like Nessie or anything. So although the stories surrounding Wally are admittedly few, there's no doubt that there's enough material to suggest someone should dig deep into the mystery. A road trip to Wallowa Lake, in other words, and a cryptic wiki state, a local legend among the Nez Perce tribe states that when the Nez Perce and Blackfeet were at war, the daughter of the Nez Perce chief fell in love with the son of the Blackfoot chief. One night, the couple took a canoe from the Nez Perce camp and rowed out to the lake. Eventually, the rival tribes realized what was happening and set out after them. And the monster then came up out of the lake and attacked them, killing them all. And to this day, the Nez Perce did not venture out onto the lake. So there you go. Yep. The Pine Barren Institute in 1932, while out in their boat, a married couple known as the Reeses saw a giant fish beneath the surface that appeared to be longer than 15 feet. They reported that they rode over it many times, but it did not seem bothered by their presence. And a few years later, in the early 1940s, a young boy was fishing along the banks of the lake when he saw a large snake-like monster with a head reminiscent of a Chinese dragon. The monster, which appeared to be curious, what's a curious monster look like? Swam in close to the shore and in the direction of a few fishermen before diving back below the surface. Legend, folklore, giant catfish, huge eel, or genuine lake monster? I think Wally is definitely a candidate, Scott. Definite.
Yeah, sounds like Wally is he's an elusive little beastie out there, I think.
Yep. And I think that's about it, dude. I think that's about all the links I had, man. We've had a lot of weirdness. We've had UFOs. We've had locusts, cicadas, weird pictures from 2026, but really it's 2023. What else we had? Chupacabras. Wallies. That's about it. I think pretty much covered it all, man. Dr. Disrespect before we go, dude.
Oh, what happened with Dr. Disrespect?
He became the latest victim in the cancel culture.
Another one? Man.
Yep, Twitch is one of their biggest streamers, you know, just gone.
Yeah, I was because I had mentioned that there was a game streamer that got cancel cultured, and I wonder if people were thinking I was talking about Dr. Disrespect because I was talking about someone completely different. So Dr. Disrespect has fell to the. What did he supposedly do? What are the accusations?
I don't want to speculate, but I would imagine with everything that's going around, there's going to be allegedly more information in the coming days. But he might have had a bit of a happy time with another Twitch streamer. Allegedly, that's what the rumors are. And said Twitch streamer is now going to expose all, as he do on Twitter. As you do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting how it's very similar to what happened to this other streamer that I followed.
Angry Joe?
No.
I know they tried to cancel him, man.
He's a Call of Duty streamer, and let's just say it looks like a case of an angry ex who just happens to also be a streamer.
It's crazy. This whole thing needs to stop and end now.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
What does it say about people that are like going back, in some cases, like trolling through old the Wayback Machine for posts that people have made like 10, 15 years ago, dragging that up, and people losing careers and losing stuff and losing families and stuff over what? A bunch of people that sit there and spend all day wanting to cancel people. Listen, if you don't like something, don't watch it. And there is some cases where people are really sleazy and they've done things where they rightly get canned. But this whole thing, and it's the whole jury and judge, jury, executioner by echo chamber of Twitter. You know,
those
crazy, man.
Those in glass houses should not throw stones. And that's what's happening, you know. And then unfortunately we live in this world now of emotional knee-jerk reaction and mob rule, right? And so the mere accusation of something means you're guilty these days.
And even if it becomes cleared, Scott, everyone remembers the accusation. Nobody remembers, you know, that it got more information come to light afterwards. All the sensations moved on to the next one that's getting cancelled then. These people don't care about the truth. They just want their ounce of blood. What does that say about people? It's like when I come on here online, the first person to show any activity on a stream is the one that comes to dislike it. So you're sitting there, you're sitting at home, you know, you're sitting there waiting for people you don't like. You got nothing better to do. I mean, listen, it says a lot more about you and that SJW cancel culture lunatic mob than it does about the people you go after. Because, newsflash, outside of your echo chamber, and I know it feels like the real world over there on Twitter, I've fallen into that trap, but it really isn't. God, step outside, come away from your keyboard, join the real world, put on some socks, be a man. Now, if you want to sort it out, come to Glasgow and we'll go to Glasgow Green and we'll sort it. But you won't do that, will you? Because you're all so brave. With all your fake accounts, multiple fake accounts trying to cancel people that have done better than you. What sad, pathetic jerk-offs. Honestly.
A lot of it has to do with envy and jealousy.
That's what it is, dude. That's what it is.
Yeah.
People doing well, they can't stomach it. Go and put in the time and effort that you put into following you people you hate. Do it into something you like, and you might get success. You could be good. You know? It's crazy, dude.
Because this game streamer that I was...
Great show, gents. PPP fucking love, yes?
Yeah, we fug algorithm. And love you as well. Yeah. Fudge. We fudge you, man. Well, that sounds wrong. That sounds wrong.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
In that case, it probably would be.
But yeah, this streamer that I followed that played Call of Duty, I mean, he was like #1 ranked in 2019, like for most wins out of everybody in the world. And his channel or his streaming.
What was his crime, dude? What was his crime? What did he do to incur the wrath?
Accusations of abuse.
Oh, not good, not good.
In a former relationship.
And again, you see, was it in the public court of Twitter? Is that where they went to? Yeah.
Yes, that's where they went. The public court of Twitter. Anyways, his channel or his streaming channel and everything was really starting to blow up. He was starting to get a lot of traction. It all just conveniently happened when he was getting really
that's
popular.
That's what I like about being small. Because first they came for the trade unionists, blah-de-blah, and then they came for that one, they came for this one. They came for me, remember, when I defended my ancient aliens. But, you know, because I am that irrelevant to the whole matrix, none of the SJWs even bothered to retweet the cancellation of me because there's no clout out of cancelling somebody that isn't big. They don't get that same reward. They can't get their likes and their retweets over the ridiculous stance that I am racist because I like ancient aliens. But hey, It's 2020. And yeah, just remember, folks, maybe next they will come for you. It's sad. It's I don't know how we got here to the whole. It's killed social media. It's anti-social media now. I had a day away from it today, Scott. Only went in for the show. Found that tweet about 2026, which I found hilarious. And but the more time you spend away from these traps, because that's what they are. They are traps, and I think the better you are for it. Doesn't matter what you do. Do anything. Just don't be spending too much time being gamed by an algorithm that knows exactly what to show you, exactly how to emotionally play you, and at the same time, you avoid getting triggered by lunacy, like I often do, Scott.
Yes. Hey, I found another one. Whenever we start talking about Shadow Man and ghosts, maybe I can kick this one on. There we go.
Oh, I like that. Now that's not as bad as that red-eyed thing. I've always had a problem with that kind of the whole mask that they used to wear for the whole illness thing back in the day. That's always. I don't know if it's like some regressed ancestral memory I've got in me or something, Scott. But the first that thing, no, dude, no, I don't like that. That's not right. No. That's like some creepy, like, nah, that's what goes home. That's Bohemian Grove after midnight, dude.
Bohemian Grove.
That is.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
so it would definitely freak you out if somebody just called you on Skype and this was the first thing you saw on camera.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Definitely.
Mm.
Yes. So I think on that note, I think what's that now I've done? That's over 2 hours I've been on, folks. Dang, dudes. Dang. I told you there was something strange going on around the world, and there's always something strange going on around this stream. But tomorrow I'll be joined by Bill Bean. Don't forget you can catch him on Coast to Coast. He was on just this week with Cheryl Jones. That's the reporter, one of the new hosts on Coast. And in the near future, Cheryl is going to be coming over to the channel for Warrior Mode with myself and Bill Bean. Yes, Scotty Lopez, that 1 degree of separation closer to Coast to Coast. Coast to Coast are going to be gracing the channel. Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, all down to Bill. I can't take any credit for that.
You know what? Any little thing to make Kev feel that, you know, he's part of the Coast to Coast.
I'm getting closer, dude. I'm getting closer. The dial's clicking. It's getting closer, man. George needs a holiday now and again. They need the accent. They need the show that comes from the smart land of the heartland of Scotland, you see? It's like the Scirocco out of the desert that George Knapp gives them. I give them the Scotsman from the smart land and the heartland. It's going to happen. Just will it into effect, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give him the location, right? Like the.
I will have. You see, how you have like rap battles. Me and George Norrie will throw it down on the woo. I'll trump his woo. I'll take him on. I'll take him and his Tash on at woo. Let's do it. Let's drop it, George.
Kev Baker and George Norrie in a rap battle. Now that.
Nah, it's a woo battle. It's a woo battle. Neither me nor George, and I will speak for George here. I can't imagine he raps. He probably raps as good as me. A woo battle.
A woo battle. Okay,
yeah,
battle. Oh man, that's like some upper level Dragon Ball Z fight going on there,
it's
man.
It's like some woo magicianry, man. I'll summon up a couple of Selkies.
You're gonna see like
Norrie.
I'm gonna summon 2 of them and all.
Norrie throwing his punch, Kev throwing his punch. Their fists are gonna hit together, and it's gonna be like a Mahabharata nuclear explosion going on.
Exactly, man. We can have Duke Nukem. He can commentate on it. Get the Duke out. Get your... No, I'm not going to say that. But folks, we have had a good time here today. Well, I have. And I hope that translates into you having a good time as well. Definitely weirdness going on in the world. But hey, it's 2020. What else do we expect, right? And I'll be back tomorrow with Bill Bean, and we will be getting into warrior mode at midnight here on the channel in the UK. I may be on earlier to maybe we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Hey, before we go, I have a
I'll look at that, an encore. It's an encore. Okay, before we go, let's there we go.
It matches your background. It has the.
Oh, have you got
has
a retro, dude? Have you got a retro thing, man?
I've got a retro. Let's see what it looks like.
Oh man, look at that, dude! If I had to make, oh come on, yes.
Yeah, it's perfect. It matches the background.
I'm gonna have to see if Miami Vice music's copyrighted, or I can twist it about some way to get Miami Vice going for us coming in, man. I don't know.
Great.
This whole graphics thing, it's really, I don't know. I felt good about when I'm streaming now, dude. It's like, I don't know. I like it. I'm liking it. We've got the wee logo going up here now and everything, you know.
I'm gonna have to show you how to get all this set up so you can play around with it too on yours.
Yeah, you see, I've got enough on my soundboard, Scott. You know, I've got those crazy voices I can do.
You know, you want to multitask some more.
Bloody heck! I need one of these stream decks. That's what I need next. Any millionaires out there, if you want to buy me a stream deck, that would be really handy. And I can just press one button, it'll flash. I'm only joking, folks. I'm only joking. We are going to get ready to wrap up now, but I want to thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all for supporting the show. And yeah, hope you're enjoying what we're doing here. And again, maybe in the next week or so, we'll see what's happening with the memberships on KBS 1. But if you want to get your emoji into part of the Rogues Gallery, get on over to Discord. And hopefully, if any of the... well, I can do it right now. Hang on, folks. I will post a link to Discord right now. Now, you've got to all... Can we do like some kind of quantum experiment here? And it's going to be... We'll be able to tell you tomorrow whether it worked or not. My quantum experiment is... I want you all to close your eyes, okay? And I want you to think of me absolutely trouncing my mother at Scrabble, because if she wins tonight, that's 7 days this week. So KBS, remember, focus, third eye, Scrabble. KBS, third eye, Scrabble. Jason has got 400 subscribers, and let me just go and refresh my channel. Hang on. We're getting quite close to a milestone on KBS2 here, folks. Hang on. Hey! We have got 4,501 subscribers. We've smashed 4,500. You lot rock. Oh, Scotty, it's a big day. I'm going to shed a tear here, man. I'm so proud for KBS2. It's my baby.
Excuse me, it's man.
I said baby, you absolute nut job. Hang on. You see all you hardcore people that waited for just a moment? Hang on, there we go. All you hardcore people that just waited a moment there. Wait till I find this now. Where did I put Scott? Oh What was I gonna play there? Did I forget what I was gonna play? Have I forgotten, Scott? I had something to go and play there and show there. Did I?
For
I
all
do.
those
No,
hardcore
I
people
do.
out there.
I do. When we done the Australian show, right? When we done the Australian show, something really phenomenal happened. And Luna in the chat room, she put together a little story. You want to hear this little story, Scott? Everyone needs to listen to this little story, right? Hang on now till I get this story here. You're gonna like this, folks. You're gonna love it. I meant to play it and I forgot. Hang on. You're in this little story, Scott.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, hang on now. See these channels that have ads and things on them, Scott? No. Right, hang on then. Let me see. Hang on. There we go. Okay. Right, let me bring it over here. Da-da-da. Right, get that like that. And over here I need to get something else ready. There we go. Hey, thank you, Jason.
Thanks to all Kev's subs and mine, you're all awesome.
Jason, are you up for Friday? Spooky Andy's down. I know Scott will be down. We're round tabling it for the Friday, Scott. We need to get that vibe going again. But I'm going to play. I'm going to find now, hopefully, where... What's up, Annie? All right. I think you're in this story as well. Right, here we go. Will I find it? Where's my mouse gone? Hang on, Ann. Laugh if you want, but sometimes when you're caught up in the conversation, there's bits I'll have missed, and
Leslie.
Okay.
Rotman. But this just... I got this story, and I'm sorry if I missed you who you are, or I offend you in any way, but this just come to me, this little story. I hope I can read it out right. Okay. It was a cold, clear night. We were all sitting around the campfire, lost in silence, watching the flames. Bonnie G wanted us to just be happy.
Hang on.
So Rotman jumped up and handed out PPP. We started talking about things we found in the woods. Johnny whistled to ZX8 and Locust, asking, "What was your first paranormal experience?" They laughed. It was when we found the remains of a mammoth hunter. Oh, Marty said, "That's spooky, Andy." Ha ha, that defies the algorithm. Leslie cackled to herself, saying, "What about the Wookiee in the cave, man?" "Yeah," Jimmy said, "that was scary. Me and Bill been there." Luna asked Donnie, "Bro, you heard of that?" Nah, no, girl," he said. Scotty started telling us about a giant flower that has only one pollination every 7 years. King Sweet jumped up in excitement. "I know where we can find the feminine queen goddess." Marinus added, "And we can find jewels there." "That would be an epic journey, man," said Sidvich. "What do you think about all that?" Kev said to Joe. Anne yelled from the back, "It would make a good show."
That there, folks, is classic. Classic, Luna. You like that, Scott?
Excellent. Yes, I always love when people are clever and are able to link a bunch of things together into a nice little story. That's really cool.
Especially
Intertwined
with
stuff.
the ditch, a bit of ditch in the background, man. We're jamming.
Went with it. Yeah.
We're jamming, dude. Know what I mean? I think we need a bit of the ditch on before we go. That'll play us out today, Scott. There we go. There we go, folks. I'll turn it up in a wee second. There we go. No, wrong one. There it is. There it is. remember, folks, this channel would be nothing without all of you. I love having all of you as a part of this, and top notch, folks, top notch. I'll be back tomorrow with Bill Bean. Hope you've enjoyed this. I sure have. Keep it real, and remember what we always say here: keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo. Check out One Poly Nation's channel for good music. And Algorithm got in touch with me today, so he'll be back on The Family soon as well. Uh-oh, that sounds a bit creepy. The Family? We're not a family. We're just the craziest characters in the weirdest corner of YouTube.
Thank you.